agenda together and brought the right people together, proposed it to our board, and was a major part of making this evening happen. Much like this event, I was also fortunate enough to participate in a candlelight vigil last Saturday night, which spontaneously became reality based on the vision of one mother in the town. So it's important for us to recognize how we as community members can generate a call to action and how we step up. So with that, I do appreciate Josh's effort in doing this and look forward to the event tonight.
Thank you, Paul. I do appreciate your kind words. So just to give people a bit of an understanding of what we want to do tonight, I would like to, well, say this came about in response to questions and concerns, but that doesn't mean that we'll get all the answers to people's questions tonight. I think the community, the nation is trying to find a way to build a bridge over some very troubled waters, and very strongly held views on many sides of the issue of gun ownership and public safety and the Second Amendment and just the rights that we have to live in freedom and security. So the issues before us are several, and we've asked some people with expertise to speak for a few minutes on issues of firearms laws and regulations and licensing and mental health issues that can play an important part in firearms-related violence, and in what the schools have done and are doing to keep many of our most vulnerable members of society safe. So we're going to also hear from Senator Spilka, who will talk about important changes in legislation to provide important services to young people so they don't need to go to the court system. But Senator Spilka will speak more about that. We're going to have about, of the 90-minute program, and we have to respect the library and be out of here by 9, so they can close up and get ready for their day tomorrow. About half the time will be presentations by our 5 panelists, and then the other half of the time will be for people here to ask questions or offer very, very brief comments. We want to make sure we capture what's said. This event's being recorded on Pegasus. I can't commit the town to any specific action as one member of the Board of Selectmen, but if there are things that we need to follow up at the local level, we want to memorialize them on the easel, so we'll have a way of doing that. This is being taped on Natick Pegasus, public access. It'll be, people will be able to view it in a couple of days in Natick and in neighboring communities. So with that, I guess I would just say the main ground rule is, as in any issue where you have people who have different opinions or strongly held feelings, we'll need to be respectful and understand that we're not necessarily trying to, agree vehemently, but to try to bridge a divide and achieve understanding and find common ground that we can build on to move forward. I say this not so much as a resident of Natick, because I feel we've got a pretty good track record of building bridges, more of a citizen of the world that can be very troubled over very painful issues. So with that as a preamble, I'm going to introduce our 5 speakers together, and then they'll just go down the line. Chief Hicks has been police chief in Natick for a couple of years. On a side note, I was really proud to be with him today as he was inducted as the president of the Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association. So he's a respected... He's a respected professional in law enforcement and brings a lot of passion and integrity to the job. That's why his peers have elected him. But tonight he'll be talking about what local law enforcement does in the area of firearms regulations and laws. State Representative Linsky will be discussing the current state of law in Massachusetts and what prospects there may be for change going forward. David Markle is chair of the Natick School Committee, was first elected back in 2009, I believe. Well, time flies. And is here to talk about what the schools have done, are doing in response, anticipation, and to provide a safe and nurturing learning environment for our children. Senator Karen Spilka has served in the Senate since 2005, has focused a great deal of her energy and talent on youth and families and in trying to get them to have the services that they need. And then Chris Gordon is Medical Director and Senior Vice President of Advocates Incorporated. Advocates is a social service agency that works on, for many communities, providing direct services or contracted services to clients. And we've asked him to speak on how issues of mental health can be addressed at the community level, at the individual level, so to provide some Q&A there. I should say he'll have some remarks, and then we'll all answer your questions. So